Bear with me. Put this thing on. It's kind of a monstrosity. Yeah, this way. All right. So, let's begin on page 128 with some words of welcome. Hine matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. So as we welcome Shabbat into our midst, it's our custom to recite psalms. And so there are 7 psalms that are included in Kabbalat Shabbat, the welcoming of Shabbat. And I'd like to venture down the path of some of them with your permission. So on page 130, we begin with Psalm 95. Lecho neranen al Adonai, nari'a letzor yishenu, nekadma fanav betodah, bizmirot nari'a lo, nekadma fanav betodah, bizmirot nari'a lo. Ki el gadol Adonai umelech gadol al kol Elohim asher beyado mechakrei haaretz v'to'afot tarim lo asher beyado mechakrei haaretz v'to'afot harim lo. Come, let us sing to Adonai with joy and raise a shout for our rock and our Redeemer. We continue on the opposite page, 131, with the words of Psalm 96. Yalai la 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 yalai la 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 yalai la 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 yalai la la yalai la 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 yalai la 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 yalai la 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 yalai la 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 shiru l'Adonai shir chadash shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz shiru l'Adonai baruch shemo basru miyom liyom yeshuato sapru v'goyim kevodo bechol ha'amim niflotav ki gadol Adonai umchulal meod norahu al kol Elohim hay lai lai ki kol Elohei hamim elilim va'adonai shamayim asa hod v'hadar לפניו עוז ותפארת במקדשו. אלי 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 ישמחו השמיים, ישמחו השמיים, ישמחו השמיים ותגל הארץ. ישמחו השמיים, ישמחו השמיים, ישמחו השמיים ותגל הארץ. ירם הים, ירם הים, ירם הים ומלואו. ירם הים, ירם הים, ירם הים ומלואו. יעלו שרה וכל אשר בו, אז ירננו כל הצייר. לפני אדוני קיווה לשפוט הארץ. ישפוט תבל בצדק וימים באמונתו. We'll continue on with words at the bottom of page 132. Or zarua la tzadik uyishrei lev simcha. Or zarua la tzadik uyishrei lev simcha. Simchu tzadikim b'Adonai b'Adonai v'hodu l'zecher kodesho. Or zarua la tzadik o yishrei lev simcha. Let's turn to page 134 and at the top of the page. Zamru l'Adonai bechino, bechino, bekol zimra. Zamru l'Adonai bechino, bechino, bekol zimra. Try with me. Zamru l'Adonai bechinor, bechinor v'kol zimra. Bechinor v'kol zimra. Zamru l'Adonai bechinor, bechinor bekol zimra. Zamru l'Adonai bechinor, bechinor bekol zimra. V'chatzatzrot v'kol shofar. It's Elul after all. Hariu lifnei HaMelech Adonai. ירם הים ומלואו, תבל ויושבבה, נהרות ימך וכף, יחר הרים ירננו, לפני אדוני, כי בא לשפוט הארץ, ישפוט תבל בצדק, ועמים במישרים. I want you to remember those words for a little bit later. Yishpot tevel betzedek. Yishpot tevel betzedek. Page 135. Last paragraph. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu vehishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu vehishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu vehishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu vehishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. All right. Feeling warmed up. Are you feeling warmed up? Okay. Should we continue down this journey of Psalms? Should we keep singing? You support it. Good. I support it too. Does anyone not support singing a little bit more? Oh, good. It's unanimous then. Okay, so Psalm 29 has a lot of words. So we're not going to do all of them this time. We'll just do some of them. And instead, we'll use Yai Lai Lai for most of them. Okay? Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Ai, lai, lai. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Ya lai, 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 lai. La 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, yamba la 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 la, yamba la la. Mizmor David, havu l'Adonai b'nei Elim, havu l'Adonai. Kavod vaos, hai lai lai, havu l'Adonai, kevod shemo, ishtachavu l'Adonai, behadra kodesh, kol Adonai, al hamayim, el hakavod hirim, diridai lai 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Last two verses on the opposite page. May Adonai grant strength to God's people. May Adonai bestow on God's people well-being. Adonai oz le'amo yitein, Adonai yevarech et amo v'shalom. Adonai oz עוז לעמו ייתן, אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום. די-די-די, לי, 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 היי, לי, 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 היי, לי, 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 די-די-די, לי, לי, לי. I like two things on Friday nights about the Pepper Chapel. One is that, well, three things. First of all, it's very intimate. And so I get to be close to all of you, and I get to hear all of you, which is great, because I like to hear people singing with me, and not just listening to me. So feel free to sing out. I hear some of that, and I like it. I also like that I look out at this menorah behind you, and it glows. And as the sun begins to set, the glow shifts. And as I look out over the wall here that holds our Sidurim, I see the horizon, and I can start to see the sunset. And as the night progresses, it gets more and more orange and beautiful. And our sages used to stand on the mountainside in Sfat, Israel, and greet Shabbat in a similar way. They would watch the sun set over Mount Hermon, and they would go out into the fields on the side of the mountain and say, "Come, O queen, come, O bride." And one of them wrote this poem, which we find on page 138, that we sing all over the world every Shabbat. And we're going to do verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. Trying to decide on a melody. לך דודי לקרא כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקרא כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד. אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ותפארת ולתהילה. לך דודי לקרא כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקרא כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי מקור הברכה, מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך דודי לקרא כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקרא כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. Verse 5. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי. אורי, אורי, שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך דודי לקרא כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקרא כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. And as we turn our eyes towards verse 9, I invite you to rise, if it's your custom, and to face that way. It's not really east, it's kind of northwest-ish, but that's the door. Bohi v'shalom ateret bala gam besimcha uvetzola toch emunei am segula bohi kala lecha dodi likra kala pnei Shabbat nekavela lecha dodi likra kala pnei Shabbat nekavela. All right, since you're already on your feet, I'm going to invite you to turn to someone you don't know, and to, now that we've greeted Shabbat, to greet someone you haven't met yet. So if you don't know them, turn to them and say hello and introduce yourself.
Hello.
Hi. Hi. Shabbat Shalom. I'm Adam.
I'm Rowan.
Rowan, nice to meet you. What's your last name?
Well, Faye.
Rowan Faye. Nice to meet you. It's a pleasure.
I don't know your name.
Adam Davis. I'm the cantor.
Okay. No, I know that. I just don't read my emails.
Oh, no worries. No worries. Hi. I'm Adam. Dominic. Nice to meet you. Adam Davis. Shabbat Shalom. Okay, there'll be time for a little bit of schmoozing afterwards. You can be seated, and we'll turn to the Psalm for Shabbat, which seems very appropriate. Psalm 92 on page 140. Mizmor shir liyom haShabbat tov lehodot laHadonai ulzamer leshimcha elyon ulzamer leshimcha elyon lehagid baboker chastecha v'yamunarcha b'halelot halei asor v'halei navel halei higayon bechinor mizmor shir liyom haShabbat tov lehodot laHadonai ulzamer leshimcha elyon ulzamer leshimcha elyon. And at the indentation and toward the bottom of the page, Tzadik tamar yifrach ke'erez balvanon yizgeh shetolim beveit Adonai bechatzrot Eloheinu yafrichu od yenuvon beseva deshenim verananim iyo lehagid ki yashar Adonai Zori velo havlatabo. Okay. So I'll invite you to turn to page 142. There's a whole lot of welcoming and receiving that happens in Kabbalat Shabbat. Kabbalat actually means receiving. So now we're going to welcome some angels into our midst, and those can be real angels, whatever that means to you, whoever the malachim in your life are. Maybe those angels are your your metaphorical angels, maybe they're the people in your life who came to your rescue or helped remind you of who you're supposed to be or what you're supposed to be doing. But these angels are the ones that guide us on our paths, and so we welcome them into our midst, and we ask them to bless us, and then we bid them farewell as they illuminate the path before us. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. 142. Mi melech malachei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem leshalom, malachei hashalom, malachei Elyon. Mi melech malachei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni leshalom, malachei hashalom, malachei Elyon. Mi melech malachei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzeitechem leshalom, malachei hashalom, malachei Elyon. Mi melech malachei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And so as the light begins to shift even more on the menorah, now we've got 2 of the 6 staves illuminated. I'm going to invite you to turn to page 148 as we mark that transition from day into night. Let's read together in the English at the bottom of the page. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tsevaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Roll into dark, roll into night. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Borei yom balayla, golel or mipnei choshech, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or. Umavir yom umehivi layla, umavdil ben yom uven layla, Adonai Tzevaot Shemo, El Chai v'Kayam, Tamid Yimloch Aleinu le'olam va'ed, Baruch Ata Adonai, Hamahariv Aharavim. Page 150. Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael Hamchavta Torah u'mitzvot Chukim u'mishpatim Otanu limadeta Al kein Adonai Eloheinu V'shokbeinu v'komeinu נשיח בחוקיך ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד כי הם חיינו ויורך ימינו, ויורך ימינו, ובהם נהגה יומם ולילה, יומם ולילה. ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד. We continue on the next page. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להיות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, Adonai Elohechem Emet. Let's read together at the bottom of page 157. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and your love. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. Page 158. Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, Adonai? Ya la 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 la. La 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 la. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה. Who is like you, Adonai? like you? Adonai, try with me. Who is like you? Adonai, who is like you? Adonai, Malchutecha ra'u vanecha bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam ze Eli anu ve'amru ze Eli anu ve'amru Adonai Yimlo Leolam Vaed V'nemar Ki fada Adonai et Yaakov Ugoalo miyad chazak mimenu Baruch ata Adonai Gal Yisrael. Let's turn to page 161 and read at the top of the page. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up, waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. Page 162. Ve'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam beini uven bnei Yisrael oti leolam oti leolam oti leolam Ve'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam uvayom ha-shevi'i Shabbat vayinafash Shabbat vayinafash Shabbat vayinafash Ve'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam uvayom ha-shevi'i Shabbat vayinafash Shabbat vayinafash Shabbat vayinafash Ve'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. As we turn to page 164, we arrive at the central prayer of our service, Tefillah, or Amidah, the standing prayer as it's known. If you're comfortable rising to your feet, I invite you to do so. Otherwise, rise in your heart. We're going to do silent Amidah tonight, and when we're finished, we will gather together for Magen Avot on page 182. 182. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon, Konei Shamayim va'aretz, Magen Avod v'Imachot bidvaro, Mechaye hakol b'mamro, Ha'el HaKadosh she'ein kemohu, Ha'meniach le'amo v'yom Shabbat HaKodsho, Kivam ratza lehaniach lahem, Kivam ratza lehaniach lahem, לפניו נבוא בריאה ופחד, ונודה לשמו בכל יום תמיד, מעין הברכות. אל אדון השלום, מקדש השבת, ומברך שביעי, ומניח בקדושה, לעמי קדושי עונג. זכר למעשה וראשית. So what's known as Me'ein Sheva, which we just recited, is a summation of the 7 blessings that we recite often aloud in Reform services. In more traditional circles, we would recite in the evening Amidah silently and then summarize with this set of blessings. And so with that, Shabbat Shalom. Good Shabbos. With that, I want to turn our thoughts back to those words that I said we should bear in mind from one of the Psalms. I don't know if anyone remembers what those were. Let's see. See if I can remember. Vishaf 2. I'm too far. I think it was page. That's weekday morning. Still there. Here we go. Yes, there we go. Page 134. Yishpot tevel betzedek. The Amim b'Mesharim. So, does anyone know Yishpot? The word Yishpot comes from the word Shefa, and Mishpat is the word that we often hear that is related to it. And a Mishpat is a rule. A law, but not just a law that we would find on the books. It's kind of it's almost like a cosmic law, right? A law of the universe. So Yishpot Tevel Betzedek, God is coming to rule with justice, Betzedek, right? V'yamim b'meisharim, and the people with equity. And as we think about the events of this past week, it somehow feels like that cosmic justice is missing from the world, that a great injustice has been done, and 6 of our brothers and sisters were murdered in cold blood. And that somehow seems terribly, terribly wrong. And so I think it's fair for us to ask the questions, the tough questions. Is there justice in this world? Can there be justice in this world? And that actually is the subject of this week's Torah portion. Shoftim comes from that same root, mishpat. It opens, Shoftim v'shotrim titen lecha bechol she'arecha, Asher Adonai Elohecha noten lecha, lishvotecha v'shaftu et ha'am mishpat tzedek. Judges and magistrates, or magistrates and officers, you shall appoint in every gate that God gives you. In your tribes, you shall judge the people. The people will be judged with righteous law. So God is telling us something important here, that we're to have a society based on rules and norms that seem to go outside the laws of people, right? Because otherwise, it could have said, V'shaftu et ha'am betzedek, and the people will be judged with righteousness. But mishpat tzedek, that's something different. That's a bigger sense of justice. Not merely the letter of the law, but the way of the world, if you will. And it goes on to lay out a series of laws that set out the legalistic underpinnings of a nascent justice system. Not only are you going to have judges and officers to enforce the law, but that there should be no shochad, no bribe given. And I always like this turn of phrase, ki shochad ya'avor einei hachachamim, that a bribe crosses the eyes of the wise, that it takes the person who otherwise has discernment and twists their vision. Ya'avor, it crosses their eyes. And then one of the best known sets of words in the Torah, one of those great citations, tzedek tirdof. Tzedek tirdof, which is commonly translated as justice you shall pursue. Tirdof, it's in the command form. So a lot of people have wondered, why not just say tzedek tirdof? Isn't it enough to say justice you shall pursue? Why say tzedek tirdof? Why repeat it? Seems odd, right? Maybe for emphasis. Hebrew does that sometimes. Or maybe there's two different kinds of justice that we're supposed to be pursuing. Or maybe tzedek, the first tzedek, is the adjective, and the second tzedek is the noun. Just justice you shall pursue. Or put another way, pursue justice justly. Now, Abraham Joshua Heschel noted that it probably wouldn't enough to say just betzedek, right? But the word tirdof is pursue. It's an active thing. So it's not justice that we have. It's not justice that we receive. Justice is fleeting sometimes, and we have to chase after it. It's not tzedek titein lecha. Give yourselves justice, because you really have to chase after it. So it goes on, the Parsha, to talk about not just the justice system, but if you want to have a king over yourselves, here are some of the guidelines for having a king. And basically, they are limitations on earthly sovereignty that pertain to opulence. That a king shouldn't have too many horses because it'll remind you of the horses of Egypt, and maybe you'll want to go back to Egypt. A king shouldn't have too many wives because his heart may go astray. A king shouldn't amass too much gold or silver. Now, they're not merely symbols of wealth. They're also indicators of power, and specifically the kinds of power that can be corrosive, the kinds with which an individual in power could use their office to illegitimate ends, to staying in power, to amassing more power. Now, you may have noticed the election season is in full swing, and it's hard to consider the candidates for the highest office in this land without thinking about some of these things, and so this parsha seems timely. What will a leader do with their time in the nation's highest office? Will they use their power for the common good? Will they use their power to improve the lives of the citizenry? Will they use their power to serve our highest ideals? Or will they use their power for other purposes? Not to pursue justice, or maybe to pursue the Department of Justice, or maybe to use that department for vengeance or division, or simply to serve themselves. Now, I'm not advocating for anyone in particular or naming names, but these things do exist. And these are the questions we have to ask ourselves. And it's important because that leader is the one who's going to appoint the shoftim v'shotrim, the officers and judges that enforce the rule of law in this land. If the leader themselves disregards the rule of law, what can be said of the judges whom they appoint? One of the things that the king is supposed to do is to sit on the throne with a copy of HaTorah Hazot, this book, this sefer of law, at all times, to always be considering the law and what is just. But what if a leader doesn't do that? Would the judges they appoint also seem corrupt? Would they be viewed by the public as corrupt? And would not that then cast the entire society into some sort of moral quagmire that crumbles under the weight of injustices, real or perceived? Now, maybe you think I'm talking about America alone, but all over the world we see this happening. And in fact, our brothers and sisters in Israel have been going through a very similar painful exercise. 12 months ago, before the tragedies of October 7th, the people of Israel were in the streets protesting proposed changes to the judicial system there that would have undermined the checks and balances of power between the judiciary and the executive. And it's not lost on many who are in the streets now, a year later, that the person who engineered all of that in order to avoid prosecution for corruption is the same person who failed to protect them and now fails to heed their calls for what is needed to redeem the remaining hostages. And closer to home, we read about Supreme Court justices accepting lavish gifts from individuals with business before the court, of judges showing outright bias towards individuals before whom they were from whom they received and owe their bench. And a former president, yes, who is doing everything they can to avoid justice, to pervert it and use it for twisted ends. It can be a bit depressing. But we are not without agency. We have a say. We have the vote. So the question is, will we pursue justice, or will we sit on our proverbial behinds and wait for it to arrive like the Messiah? The Torah tells us, do the former. Tzedek, tzedek tirdof. Wherever you land, whatever your sense of justice may be, whatever you think is just and right, you cannot simply wait for it to happen. You must go out and help make it happen. It's only through fidelity to doing right, that we can ensure justice happens. There's a saying that those who claim extremism in the name of liberty is no vice. But those people do not understand that the price of that is the liberty, the freedom, the justice. May we and our country, men and women, and our brothers overseas and our sisters overseas in Israel, and people everywhere come to heed the words of this week's Torah portion. Being just in the name of justice is what we must pursue. Shabbat Shalom. We'll continue with a prayer for healing for those who are ill in our midst. I'll invite you to turn to page, it's right here, to page 371. In the middle of the page, a prayer for healing. Mi sheberach avotenu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mi sheberach imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. We'll turn now to page. Well, actually, I'm going to make some announcements. Let's see. Do I have announcements? They should be somewhere here. Announcement. Oh, they're there. Okay. Announcements. Welcome. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you to Cantor Davis for leading us this evening. Please join us tomorrow for Shabbat morning services and the Ufruf blessing, traditionally given to initiate the round of wedding celebrations for Alana Berman and Fito Torres, followed by a special kiddush sponsored by the Berman family. Sunday is the first day of religious school, as well as our Red Cross blood drive. Make sure to schedule your Red Cross appointment in advance. I suppose that appointment is available on some email that has crossed your desk. Also Sunday at 2 p.m., we will be holding a special memorial service as we remember Hirsch, Ori, Carmel, Alexander, Almog, and Eden, and pray to bring home the remaining 101 hostages. We will also have words of reflection and provide safe space afterwards for people to express their feelings. If you can't make the 2 p.m. Mincha memorial service here at Kol Ami, there is also a service at 6 p.m. at Har Shalom in Park City, as well as a 5 p.m. vigil at the Utah State Capitol. High holidays, they are coming. If you would like to order kosher meat through the Kol Ami Kosher Co-op, those orders are due this Sunday. Wow, I didn't know that. I got to get on that. Please contact David Litvak in order to learn more. Our annual congregational meeting will be held on September 16th at 7 p.m. Visit our website to register or download proxy forms. Okay, other upcoming dates to mark on your calendars. Friday, September 13th. Friday the 13th. Our family Shabbat dinner is next Friday. September 17th is our next Women's Rosh Chodesh group. And dinner at the Shul, that's here, will be Friday, September 20th. Our next lecture in our Sunday Schmooze with Faye Lincoln series will be on September 22nd. Our Challah Bake is coming up on September 24th. And our Slichot program is also coming up. We got a lot of stuff coming up. So look out on your calendars. Also, high holiday tickets have been mailed to all members who have made their 25% deposit payment. If you'd like to know how to blow shofar at those high holiday services, contact Larry Green. We also need some volunteers to help bake and usher and greet people at check-in, and, if you're handy, to help build the sukkah. Contact Galit Livne if you can help. And if you need a handicap parking permit for the holidays, please contact the office. Okay, as always, thank you to our volunteers, our donors, our members, and guests for your participation and support. Thank you to the Salt Lake City Police Department for helping keep us safe. Shabbat Shalom. Okay, thank you, Cantor Davis, for making the announcements. You're welcome. Okay, Cantor Davis, what's next? Well, how about we turn to page 586 at the bottom of the page. I'll invite you to rise in body or in spirit, whichever is most comfortable for Aleinu. Aleinu leshabeach la'adon hakol, lateit gedula leyotze v'reshit, shelo asanu kegoyei ha'aratzot, velo samanu kemishpechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gohor aleinu kechol hamonav, ve'anachnu kor'im umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yihye Adonai echad U'shemo echad. You may be seated. It is customary to conclude services during the month of Elul, in which we just began, with words from Psalm 27, which we can find actually on page, I'm stalling. Here we go. There it is. Yes, 662. Achat shalti me'et Adonai, ota vakesh. Achat shalti me'et Adonai, ota vakesh. Shivti bevet Adonai, kol yemei chayai. Lachazot benoam Adonai, ulevaker bechalo. Lachazot benoam Adonai, ulevaker bechalo. So as a point of privilege, I'm going to ask and invite everyone, if you are observing a Yortzeit or mourning, I'm going to invite you to join us on Sunday so that we can recite the names at that point and help make a minyan for those who are mourning, and also for those who are mourning for and sitting shiva for the six martyrs of our people who gave their lives this past week. With that, I'm going to invite you to rise for a kiddush. Vayachulu hashamayim ve'aretz v'chol tzevam vayachol Elohim b'yom hashvi'i melachto asher asa vayishbot b'yom hashvi'i mikol melachto asher asa vayavarech Elohim et yom hashvi'i vayakadesh oto ki hivo shavat mikol melachto asher bara Elohim lasot savri. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kishanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho b'yahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lemaaseh bereishit ki hu yom tehila lemikra'ei kodesh zecher litziat Mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta v'otanu kidashta mikol hamim v'shabbat kodshecha v'yahava uv'ratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. Chaim. Okay, and now we'll light some candles because it's still light out. Bring Shabbat in early, which we're doing. Yeah, so we'll just kind of waiting until the last possible moment. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. And we'll make hamotzi over one of our freshly baked. Ooh, it's a soft one. Chalot from our good friend Moshe at Heritage Bakeries. If you don't order a challah from Moshe, you are missing out. Also, this week he made babka. So, and if you've never had babka, boy, are you missing out. Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Shabbat shalom. Come get some challah. Hey. Hey. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Hey. Shabbat shalom. Hey. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat, 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 Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shalom, Shabbat, Shalom, Shabbat, Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shalom.